Hey man, you're alive.
He wants me to write in one.
I can't see the word.
No.
So are you gonna redo the little demonstration you just did with triangles or no?
Okay, so I'm just gonna go over again the law of cosine used only for SSS and SAS. Now we're gonna say that one more time. Law of sine can be used only if it's one corresponding angle and side. So for example, if I have this 10 and have this 5, 50 degrees, and if I have this is I say 12, I can use this matching angle and matching side for law of sine, right? And I can find this to use the law of sine. But the problem, there are two other cases doesn't work. So SSS and SAS, you cannot use law of sine. Why? Because they have, let's say 3, 6, and 7. You don't have one matching pair and angle. You don't have it, and you don't have it. So those are the cases the law of sine does not work. So there had to be an alternative things to use. In this case, the law of cosine.
Law of sine does work for the first one.
So now there's a second case. If we have 10,
Okay.
42 degrees, and let's say 12. Do you have a matching pair?
No,
Do you have a matching pair?
still nothing.
And still nothing, right? So therefore, those two cases gonna be used only for law of sine, law of cosine, sorry.
Oh, he's in the first one. I'm sorry. I was so confused.
And this one uses law of sine.
Okay. Makes sense now.
Because this one has a matching pair, and this one's missing information, so I can use that to find it. So now we're gonna go to what is law of cosine. Now the proof of law of cosine you don't need to know. I show you the proof of law of sine for the other class. Use draw two right triangle. Now if you have law of cosine, a lot of people think it's cosine A over A, cosine B over B, cosine C over C. No, that does not it. So don't ever write that down. So you're gonna be this. It's A squared
You're an expert.
Oh my god.
equal to B squared plus C squared. That looks kind of like what? Pythagorean identity, right?
Yeah.
But it's not, because usually C squared on the other side, but it's really similar. And then here, what I'm going to do is write down cosine of A. So this is correspondent to this. A squared, and A is right here, minus 2BC. So sometimes either this one's unknown or this one's unknown. So either this angle A is unknown or side A is unknown. That's the whole equation. There's three different versions of it. But if you know how to get one, you can find the other one. Now those two are matching. So they usually A and A here, they're matching each other. So the side A and the angle A, they're matching to each other. So you gotta make sure they are matching to each other. And the rest of them just kind of figure out the rest of the puzzles. So now I'm gonna write the one for B squared. What do you think B squared is equal to?
A squared plus C squared.
A squared plus C squared. But usually I'll write the other side first. If B squared, this side is gonna be what?
Cosine
And then minus 2.
A
C.
What?
That's what I meant.
Okay, so now, see that's matching? Then you say, okay, now unknown either use this one or this one. It's not both. Usually one of them is fine. Now I hear we find a second version. There's a third version, or we can figure that out. What's the third version?
C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2A
A, B,
cosine C.
C squared.
A little late, but sure. So this is kind of close, no? Because now it's a square plus.
So this is a law of cosine. Law of cosine is not cosine A over cosine A, or cosine A over A is cosine B over B. Everybody in my geometry, because of that, end up getting it all wrong. Sarah,
Sophie.
not Sarah, but Sophia. I know start with the S.
Ooh.
Okay, so now I'll have a situation. This is a situation I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to have angle A is equal to 57 degrees, and side B equal to 10, side C is equal to 12, and I say, hey, can you find the missing information? So find all missing information. I'm going to teach you how to do it first. I'm going to give you an example too, okay? So I'm going to draw a triangle, and I'm going to have an A is equal to 57 degrees. Am I going too fast? I'm going to have a B, so I'm going to assign this side as B, this side is C. Therefore, B is 10, and C is 12. So it's typical SAS case. And we say SAS because there's no matching side. Law of sine doesn't work, so you have to use the law of cosine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the law of cosine here. Law of cosine is going to be working like this. So the unknown usually what? Is this 2, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think the unknown is this one? What am I looking for?
You're looking
Little
for.
A? It's
A, side A or angle A?
side A.
Side A. So this one I'm looking for.
I did not get. I did that off the
I said Michael Short.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down this part, 57 degree, we already know. So that's like this, right? So I'm going to write down the other side first. Cosine of 57. Does that make sense?
Wait,
It's equal to this side is going to be the side A that we don't know about. So I'm make sure these two are matching. The rest of them I'm just going to fill in. So it's B squared. So B squared is going to be, so I'm going to write down B squared minus plus C squared minus 2BC, right? So A squared is equal to 10. Is that 10 or 16?
10.
10, we said 10. So,
read his own handwriting.
plus 12 squared minus 2 times 10 times 12, and then cosine of 57. Now, what do you do with the graphing calculator? Yes,
What do you do when it's side? Do you solve for?
we're going to talk about that. Let's chill.
Okay.
Give it a minute,
You
man.
give it a minute.
We're going to use this, and we're going to type in on the graphing calculator. And the way to type it is type the whole thing out together. In order to not make mistakes, some people do this first, and this second end up getting wrong answer. So order operation, a graphing calculator can take care of everything for you. Just type in everything just like this. Okay? That way your graphing calculator does not work. Now if you're a scientific calculator, you have to make sure those two are adding together. Now you're gonna get this is a big parenthesis. You gotta make sure you multiply this out completely. And this subtract this.
I pressed equal.
Whoa. It's what?
9.
You're confusing me.
Mister, you got.
What?
It's 69.28. 7. That's the answer, mister.
No, that's not an answer.
Dead. I literally did the whole mystery. Is it 100?
Look.
10 squared plus 12 squared. Did you type
Oh, I
in?
wrote plus 10 squared plus 10 squared.
10 squared plus 12 squared
I'm smart.
10
minus
squared?
2 times 10 times 12 cosine of 57. What did you get?
113.
113.
First time, yeah. 113.
Now, is it the answer or not?
Wait, but you don't have to.
No,
That's not an answer.
square root.
Because people usually think that's the answer. Think about it. Can you form a triangle with 10 and 12 and the other side is 113. That's not practical because that's not enough. So therefore, a must be smaller than that. Well, a squared is equal to this. So what is a?
10.644.
10 point what?
10.644.
So you need to square root both sides.
Second.
I don't even know.
And then go through the expression.
And then my second answer should get Yeah.
Wait, second answer.
What?
Or you can move the arrow up.
10.644.
Click the enter.
I just wrote square root on it and then put
No, move up first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 10.64, right?
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Now I can use law of cosine to find C or B.
Yeah.
So I can use, law of sine to find C or B. You can use law of cosine also, but law of cosine could be more precise. Law of sine have some problem. So I never mentioned when I teach law of sine, there's one problem. There's one issue with law of sine.
What was it?
Law of sine does not work if the angle you're looking for is obtuse. So if your angle you're looking for is greater than 90, that is not going to work. Okay? So in this case, it should work. So what I do is I will find one of those angles, and then you can find a third angle. But I don't know. Sometimes they do have cases that law of sine does not work, especially to obtuse angle that you're looking for. Obtuse is greater than 90, so anything above 90 it's not going to work.
It's not going to be obtuse,
So it's not obtuse, right?
no.
I don't think so either. But we're going to give you a obtuse case. So now I'm going to using this one. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to say sine of 57 over 10.644 is equal to sine of 12, no, not sine of 12, sine of C equal to 12. So it'll be 12 sine of 57 over 10.644 is equal to sine C. And then this one's going to be inverse of this, so sine inverse of 12 sine of 57 and divided by 10.644. So it'd be 70.999, which is roughly 71 degrees. So we're gonna round it up 79.
Would you get the same thing if you do sine?
Huh?
Would you get the same thing if you use law of sine?
Law of cosine? Yeah, you would get something. Law of cosine, but just much more number you have to plug in. You would get exact same thing. Actually, you might get pretty close to 70, 71 this time. What? 10.644. And what's the angle B now?
52.001.
That's what I got.
Is equal to what?
52.001.
52. Roughly.
How do you
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about side case. They're a little bit different. The side case, there is one thing you have to pay attention to. So side case, I'm going to give you the one case that is kind of extreme. So I'm going to give you this side says 12. And this side says 13. And this side says 22. Okay, so A equal to this, B is equal to this, C is equal to this.
Are we doing this ourselves?
Sorry, let me change the number a little bit. Now, here's the thing, side case, I want you to pay attention to. In order, there is a 16.6% you're gonna get a wrong answer. In order to prevent that happening, I don't know why I come up with 16.6%.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was an actual
Me too.
number.
Wow.
I was like, wow, he searched it.
It just sounds like really smart. That's why I picked that number. It's roughly 16.5. No. Half of 33%. So half of 33% would be 16.5. 16.5%. There's a 16.5% of chance that you'll get a wrong answer if you don't follow this rule. So the rule of thumb in this case is this. So can you erase this part now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the rule
Wait, can I guess?
of thumb always looking for the largest angle first.
Well, how do you know which one's?
But what if there is?
You know by looking at the side.
It's gonna be the one. It's gonna be the one
Okay.
with the biggest side, right?
So
So I'm gonna erase this part.
Right.
it would be B.
C.
It's
I mean
C.
C. Oh my God. Sorry. The
Cal.
little thing.
C.
That's what I meant.
Otherwise, depend on the problem. Otherwise, depend on the problem. That's 16.5% the chance that you're gonna get a wrong answer for the other two angle. So you gotta make sure you always. So otherwise, the 16.5% of chance that you get it wrong.
Wait, so you can get it right if you don't?
They are possible that you can get it right too, because depending on which angle you look for first. If you look for the smallest first, and look at the second smallest, and look at the biggest later last, you're gonna get a right thing. But if you look at the smallest and the biggest one
And then the middle one.
and the middle one, you're gonna get a wrong answer. So they are 16.5% of chance
Oh,
that
so
you
that's
get it wrong.
so 16.5 is an actual number now.
Yeah, because
okay, because you did. Yeah, makes sense.
so we don't need to worry about this part.
Oh.
I just said don't erase it.
I just made that up part, so.
Oh. Oh, you didn't erase it.
Okay, so now the angle I'm looking for is the largest angle. Now, how do I know which angle is the largest? If those three
It correlates with the biggest side.
they correlate to bigger side, because the bigger side and the wider the open, the wider the other side has to be. So you have to look at this. You have to say, okay, well, C is the biggest angle. So C is the biggest angle. That means this side is C squared. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And C squared is equal to 22. Is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of C.
Wait, Mr. Why are we using C squared?
Cause C's the biggest. The longest.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And we have the side C, so this side is 22. Sorry, 22 squared.
44.
Wait.
22 squared, right?
Yeah.
Is equal to the side A is 13 squared. We're gonna do here cosine of a C, and 13 squared plus what? 12 squared minus 2 times 12 times 13. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or 13 times 12, doesn't matter.
It doesn't even matter.
I was trying to finish it.
I'm trying to do it.
I was trying to do it, but I got it.
They have a problem, why you get an error. That's right, that's it.
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I thought he was going again. Stop.
So what we're gonna do is we'll do one step at a time. I'm gonna get isolated C, but I'm gonna isolate one at a time. I'm gonna get rid of addition and subtraction first. So I'm gonna do 22 squared minus 13 squared minus 12 squared. That's equal to negative 2 times 13 times 12 times cosine of C.
Why?
Because I'm gonna isolate the cosine C first, but I get rid of addition and subtraction first.
Okay.
And later I can divide on both sides to get rid of multiplication.
I got an error.
So I'm gonna show you what you did wrong. You guys don't pay attention.
Oof.
Okay, so I'm gonna. How do I get cosine C by itself?
So you did.
How do I do cosine C by itself? I divide, right? On both sides, right?
Wait.
Right?
You
So
have
that's
to
going to
do it
be
like
cosine of C is equal to 22 squared minus 13 squared minus 12 squared over negative 2 times 13 times 12.
Yeah, and just do post. I have a question. Why
You
can't,
have to do
why,
all that?
why can't you just do the a squared? Okay.
You guys just don't pay attention to detail. There's a lot of detail I'm trying to tell you. Trying to do a problem before I go over it. That's why I say I go over it first, then you can do a problem. So let me, I'm going to tell you where you make mistake because using your calculator are stupid, and you are supposed to be smart.
I'm not.
Yes, so why you are not smart? Here's the thing, because calculator, when you type this in there, calculator can read this. 22 squared. Calculator said minus 13 squared. Calculator is minus 12 squared. So far your calculator is going to matching with your thought process. Now, what happened is that right here, that's where the calculator start messing it up. Because you're going to do dividing sign, right? You divide it by negative 2, right? And you times by 13. And you times by 12, but that's wrong. Because it's supposed to divide it by 13, it's divided by 12. Or, the best way is this. Put an extra parenthesis right in the top.
That's not what it is.
Also parenthesis on the bottom. That extra parenthesis is going to give you an answer here. It's between -1 to +1. If they give you between -1 to +1, then you can do cosine inverse. Okay, you can do cosine inverse, and then you're going to get a y answer. So now try it again.
I did.
What?
Can you just do the a squared plus b squared minus 2ab, and then the c squared, and divide what you get on the right from the cosine of c, and then do cosine inverse?
Did you get a right answer?
It's an error.
Exactly. So follow my way.
Well, I'm gonna get the same. I'm gonna get the same number.
No, you're not going to get that number. You need a parenthesis. If you didn't put a green parenthesis here, you're going to get a wrong answer.
No, I got point.
I wrote something wrong. I deleted the whole thing.
It should be negative 0.54807. Cosine of C is equal to negative 0.548076923.
How many decimals do you have to go?
Right here, I'm going to keep as much as I
So
can
it's
because
123.
I'm trying to get a side, and the side is really deviate by a lot if I do premature rounding. So I'm going to using the calculator. I usually don't write it down. So now I just do second cosine of the previous answer. So you press the top arrow once, and you press the enter. Then you're going to give you a type in everything for you.
Yeah.
And then it's going to give you 123.
0.235. Why can't you do the other one?
Yes.
What is that? 1, 2?
You go press up, enter, same speed.
No, second answer is faster, because answer is right next to the enter button. So
Yeah, but your previous answer is right above you. Then you had to press enter again.
What is that? Doesn't matter, it's faster.
Same time. 3
Oh, at
beats.
the end?
Boom, boom, boom. Yours is boom, boom, boom. Same thing. And seconds all the way on the other side. So according to Pythagorean identity, this side is faster. The top arrow is faster.
No, because you could accidentally press and to the side or down.
You could have accidentally pressed anything else too. You could have accidentally pressed it.
Are you
The
serious?
second key by itself, so it's easier.
I think for.
Okay, so why do we looking for the bigger side? biggest angle, I'm sorry. The biggest angle, if I'm looking for the smallest angle, right? And if I look for this, and this using law of sine, inverse law of sine doesn't work or anything over 90.
Oh.
So therefore 123 would not work. But if you're looking for the smallest angle first, and looking for the second smallest angle, and then use the rest of the thing, like a triangle is 180 degree, then you can find the third angle by the deduction reasoning. So you'll get an obtuse by itself naturally. But if you do it the other order, then you're gonna get it wrong. So you always start with the largest angle, get rid of obtuse angle first. Then you don't have obtuse issue. Then you can find the rest of the angle much easier. So a lot of things like this is a hidden rules that a lot of people don't think about. So now I can use this 123.235, and then I can find out this angle and this angle by using law of sine or law of cosine. It's depending on your preference. For me, law of sine is much easier. Law of cosine is a lot more button you have to press. Does that make sense? But it's still, regardless, you're gonna get a right answer. So now you try it.
Thanks.
After all this time.
My stomach hurts. Only 130.
This is 49 degrees. A is equal to 13. B is equal to
57. No, 47.
Is equal to 18. The second one is A is equal to 10. B is equal to 13. C is equal to 21.
They call me so smart, but
I was in a smart group in like middle school.
Okay, so now you try for finding both information. Oh, by the way, find the area on the second one. Well, actually find both.
Oh,
Find all the thing about this triangle, find area as well.
You're gonna write it down this time?
Yeah, so you don't have no excuse. Find area as well.
I can't read that technically.
And then
Technically, you can't read that.
angles and
I can't read
sides.
it.
Technically.
according to my knowledge base, that's part of
Handwriting is sloppy.
right? So the two on the left are their own.
Yeah, true.
So we don't-
Yeah, we
Because
don't.
you read from left to right, so since it's after the problem,
Yeah,
so then the word pertains.
Ah, that's logic right there.
White people are taking the app.
You're welcome.
What are your favorites?
Oh my god, this girl.
Is that a 49 or a 49?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Because cosine C is
I know, like I did notice.
because now everything counts. So I will keep it.
That's what I think about everybody.
Oh,
What?
I'm gonna go back and show my dad that.
this question doesn't make sense. It's side angle. It's
But
abs.
they don't know who is it because I'm right here. Yeah, they cannot have a.
Angles?
Oh, you can still do it, yeah. No, it's not
Now you are right.
Yeah, it's angle side side.
So you can still do it?
I don't even.
Yeah, you can. No, you but this.
Whoa!
You can use the. Oh, it's congruent as up to. That's what we use. You can use the cosine thing. Law of cosine is up to.
Maybe you'll have.
What?
If it's obtuse, we can't use sine. Law of cosine. We have to use law of cosine because it's obtuse.
It's error.
Yes, we have to law of cosine.
Well, don't worry, I'll give myself credit. I said so many things important.
Well.
The other day, there was like I was 6 years, just like, kid, reading black,
I think you are using some How are you supposed to say the area has carrots? It's all A.
Oh, wait, never mind.
You ate Mister, you can't solve A. You can't solve the first one.
It's an arrow. It doesn't make sense.
What?
You're missing. That's
It's
ass.
angle side.
Oh, C. C equal to 13.
But I
Wait, which one? What are you talking about?
Big C or little C?
I was so confused for a second. I was like, this doesn't make sense. We're literally solving ass right now.
There
That's
was
C.
Wait a minute.
That doesn't make it.
It was no little C. So what are you solving for then?
Little C, right? That's
Little C, little C.
I think your eraser.
So you're solving such a big A?
Because you would have
Yeah.
C squared.
Or
And cosine
small
C.
A.
But you would not, but you can't.
There we go, finally.
I got
I was like, ass doesn't work. I was like, if you said use only versus tomorrow, I was like, you don't make sense.
nothing. Like, I'm not bringing nothing. There's no point. I'm bringing my computer.
I've been
In my
really.
hands.
I don't want to. Right.
Yes, you are, Lisa.
I hate all race equally.
Oh, yeah.
Why you look so innocent when you say that too?
I don't like Chinese people. I don't like American people. I don't like
This is gonna be in a live
We
stream.
can record you.
We are recording
those
it.
little kids that always say stuff that they don't know.
Look, if you
I
want
don't like
to
anybody.
I don't give a shit. I don't like humanity in general. So they don't like
It's okay.
I got 30.
I'm gonna watch the recording because I said it like.
I hate all music.
Can I have a cookie?
No.
Yo, who's talking?
I was thinking about
Don't have any bread.
Can I
I
have
was
a
like, that's
cookie?
like the private.
Sir, can I hit students and not get a point for it?
I didn't do anything.
Did you say sir? Did you say sir?
Hurry up, find the answer, please.
Yeah, you idiot.
It's a 35.
Hey, what's your name?
How do you know that was my middle name? Who told you that? That's my middle name, Marie. But people say like Maria and stuff. Sir?
Hey,
Does have a side. Small A, sorry.
I didn't get that.
Mister, can you see that? Sorry.
It's not reconnecting, guys. There goes the live stream. I reconnected it. I reconnected it.
Oh, see, this is making a lot of noise. What did you run into? I ran
Hey, I know how to curse in Spanish.
Really? Say something Spanish.
Say.
No, that'd be on live stream.
But you know what you can't say.
Who cares?
But you know what you can't say on live stream?
I reconnected it. I reconnected it.
No, I only say ass. Ass is done.
Rachel, you know what
You
you can't say on live stream?
You said shit earlier.
Shit, just shit.
Yeah, but the curse word still.
Shit is cool. Ass is I don't say anything.
Can I have a cookie? Mr. Yay! Mr. Yay, can I have a cookie?
No.
Why?
No, yeah, that's not
You just don't want to give me a cookie.
That's a different show. It's not, is it like a yellow kid? That's a different show. It's like
Alright, the difference the air is 88.
small yellow kid with like dots on his head. Kind of like oh, and and the show started with an X. And it goes like job.
Hopefully it'll go back quick.
Something like that.
Sorry.
But
I found little A.
This one's probably
So do I find the
I know, always had a blue. Sometimes she had a red one. And then she had a red one called shade.
I don't remember.
I remember that.
Deborah, not bad. Not bad.
Yes.
In math. I don't think so. Wait. What's your score? What's your score?
I know.
You mean that?
No, those spaces.
What's your math? 95, 98.
I have glasses. That was really like the math. I always do really good in the arithmetic.
I wonder who like
It wasn't even math and the math. Like those are my two best. The math portions are the ones.
So according to you, what you want is 85. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Not RTC. You don't want to do anything RTC. And she got like 80s percentile in math. And everything else.
Do it.
electronic, mechanical, and auto. I'm not good at that.
I improved in the electronics and mechanics, but I did worse at the Facebook.
You
I
are.
don't even know anything about that. I'm just happy I scored higher than 30%.
But I got to
Actually, you scored very well according to all females.
I'm sorry.
I just have to get this.
Why are you getting error? Fuck!
I just told you.
Mister, I did it correctly too, but I got an error.
Right, she did right.
What? Which one? Number 1, 2? What? You did 2 already? No, you didn't.
I did the important part.
What's the important part though?
The new part is now we don't. The rest is old.
Find the area also.
Yeah,
Find the
Jeremy.
area,
Some bonus
Jeremy.
No, it's not part of the question.
McClellan test. Jeremy only.
Can you do it?
Only Jeremy need to find the area.
Yo, imagine, and he doesn't do
Yeah,
it.
then I get extra credit, so I get better.
So what? I would have to wait.
Why the fuck am I getting
You
an
didn't
error?
get better.
Mister, I need help. I'm getting an error. I'm gonna kill myself. Never mind, it's not live stream. I'm not gonna kill myself.
Oh yeah?
Can I get help?
How would you?
Because I would know. Because I have like 107 in one of my classes.
Number 2. Remember Mr. Solis?
I keep getting errors too.
Yo, you have 100 every year though. You had like 110 point whatever.
I'm trying to over C.
I was like,
But you have
and she put it on the report card for you when she
Oh, which one's biggest?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
I'd be like, what a scholar.
Oh, she still got an error. It was on my phone.
Everyone used to try and compete with me in that class though, guys.
I'm doing it right, and I know I'm doing it right. I put it the same freaking way that you put it.
No, that's
And then you and Anthony would sit in the back and you guys would never do your schoolwork. You guys would talk all class period. Like just after your day. Yeah, you would sit back there and talk and talk. She is so mad.
I would be always playing one
No,
on
but
my
you
phone
did,
with
yeah.
that. We would always play SLC and David.
No, but Chelsea, I most time I got to do this work.
Yeah, you had it to do this work, not us though.
Yeah. Chelsea, I get him to do this work.
Yeah, not me. And I still had an A in her class.
But it took me all the time to get
That's
to
now
do
the
it.
I
business
still had a
year.
90 something in
When
her
I
class.
remember when he was in 9th grade,
I didn't get an error this time.
He got like early back.
Okay, you did it like 10,000 times.
Well, I did my first time actually. My first time doing it right, I got it. I didn't get an error.
Make sure you put a parenthesis right here and right here, because otherwise your calculator think you ask them to do different things.
Do you have a 500 in your equation?
Numerator has its own parentheses, denominator has its own parentheses.
They don't let me do it. Like it's
Oh, it's supposed to
I need holes in my foot.
I'll show you finally.
That's all I need to know.
I would say show it.
Yes.
Now you have
Side first.
Wait, so for the rest of the team,
Ha! I fucking got
I got it first.
it.
What? 1 and 3, 1 for
Okay, and then I just
Can you use log side for rest angles or do you substitute log cosine?
Wait, how
Do it without him.
It's not recording.
I think he said it was
Oh my god.
Mr.
So I put parentheses and now you can't
Can you use log side for the rest of them?
Oh my
The rest of the
god.
angles?
Oh my.
Mister,
It's not recording.
yeah, it is.
Yo, stop touching it. You're gonna break
I'm just gonna leave it on Jeremy for next time you do something, Mister.
Can you see me in it
Yeah,
though?
you can. No,
Okay, good.
now I can.
No.
Mister, I have a question. So for obtuse triangles, I use log cosine to find the biggest angle. Can I use log sine? Can I use log sine for the other triangles?
Yeah.
So I use log cosine.
Log sign is fine.
Yo,
1/2 is
last year
13
it was
times
I don't even know how I got it.
Make sure, guys, hey, I need your attention. There is a parenthesis on the top for the whole thing. They will calculate this by itself. Otherwise, it's thinking about 12 squared divided by -2 only. Using my calculator is better.
Like that?
You are taking my test with my calculator.
Time.
Yeah.
Oh no, wrong parentheses. It comes out as
Can
error.
you do A, like big A?
No, is it okay?
I have a cookie now.
I'm saving you from diabetes, okay?
I probably already have it. Come on. Sharing is caring.
Eating in front of people is caring.
No, it's not. It's rude. This is special. Jeremy's so special.
There. I'm making sure.
Where'd the ones cancel out?
You're doing one.
The one.
Okay.
I'm on number 2.
Wait, did you just cancel out the parentheses?
He really did.
Oh, are you number 2?
I think you need another example there.
Got it. So then.
See, that's why they're very green because it's canceled.
Okay, any question about this?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, mine's not. Mine's erroring. Erroring.
Parenthesis on the top and parenthesis on
I
the bottom.
did. I put
Show
it.
me.
Look, she's fixing it and it's still coming out as error.
The area?
Try me.
Maybe I use a radiant.
Mode? Did you change your degree? Mode, radian,
Yes.
degree.
Okay. Then we got
So we
it.
got
Got it.
Bro,
Did you put on green?
try me. You wanna fight?
This for negative. We're touching this for negative.
It's only 1:54. I wanna go home. The video wants to go home too. It's been 45 minutes
89.9.
on the video.
Alright, so what is the angle, what is the side C, side A?
Side A.
13.64.
And what is the area?
They basically got 88.
Area is what?
Do you have any
88 point what? 3. Okay, what is the angle B?
131.4.
131.4. You should look for the largest angle, Sophia.
Yeah, now I figure that out.
Okay, now what is the area?
I was pissed. I was like, I don't get it. 48.7.
48.7?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, so that's the answer.
Sister, I put in the calculator and I got like
Right.
20,000.
Okay, but
No, because he can put it wrong too.
no. Put a parenthesis on the top and parenthesis on the
I
bottom.
did that. I did all of that.
Mr. Vic, you got what? What's time to wait? You have like no idea how frustrating it is trying to help your See, I don't mind helping out Vic, but
For real.
Okay. We're gonna give you a word problem about bearing now.
No.
And about law of cosine. Okay, so here, I want you to pick a two direction. Which two direction you want to pick?
Northwest.
Northwest, okay?
Yo,
So,
that's some weird stuff, bro.
Ship A, okay, is leaving, ship A and ship B is leaving at the same port. Leaving at the same port at the same time. 9 o'clock a.m. 9 o'clock a.m. Okay? So ship A is leaving at the speed of 14 miles per hour. I don't know why we're using miles, but we're in the United States without.
Wow.
We disregard the metric system.
For real.
Okay, so ship A is leaving at 14 miles per hour and is traveling north, I don't know, 43 degrees west. Okay? The ship B is traveling the same, leaving at the same port at the same time, and that clock is traveling 12 miles. Now this, what not a normal word problem is, I just concise a lot of words, just give you key information, so your life is a lot easier.
Thank you.
And that's how you're supposed to read them anyway. So you're supposed to read them and write it this way. So give me two directions you like.
Northwest.
Southeast.
Yo, oh, we already put northwest.
Southeast, okay, let's do southeast.
What do you mean? We're in the southeast.
Yo,
And
why
what's the number? What's the number you like?
5. 155.
27.
55.
61, okay.
Yo, why do you not pick my numbers?
61 is kind of far. Give me a smaller
I
number.
am very mine today. I write her mine.
31.
Whoa, I'm a witch.
Get it? See, at least I got southeast.
Okay?
Because I'm also the other.
Okay, whatever. So how far apart?
I don't know.
At noon.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's so.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm gonna do the problem for you. I'm gonna
Please.
show you how this problem works.
Is that 14 and 12?
I'm gonna draw an axis. And I'm gonna draw a port, it's right here. Okay, north 43 degrees west. Where's that? 43 degrees, so it's a little bit here. So 43 degrees west. and that's around 14 miles per hour. But we're traveling how many hours?
3. I felt that though. I thought in my head, I was like,
Nine,
is
10,
3, is 9 plus 3, 12?
Okay, so we're traveling for 3 hours. So this is gonna go for 3 hours, right?
Oh my
So
god.
this is 3 hours. And in 3 hours, how many miles are we traveling?
42.
Around 42, good. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna say this is a 42. Why is 42? It's 42 is equal to 14 times 3, because that's 3 hours.
I'm sorry.
Okay, south, 31 degrees east. South, 31 degrees, so 31 degrees is smaller.
Not that small.
Yeah, it's not as small. I had
It's not.
to, in order for a
Kinda like a
triangle. Okay, so, and I'm traveling at 12 times 3, right? So it's 36. So this is the distance apart. So literally I will draw the
Oh my
new
God, I
triangle
got
here.
Damn it!
I will draw a new triangle here. This one is
No!
42.
My bag.
Oh, okay.
This side is 36. And this angle what we're trying to find. Now, do you guys know the angle in between? This one's kind of hard. This one's one of the hardest one you can do. Look. What's the angle in between here to here?
Oh, wait.
Whoa,
I'm shook. Okay,
it's more than 90.
90 plus 43 plus 31.
No.
What?
Is it 106?
No.
31. Oh, wait, no.
That's not 47. That's 47.
No.
No, yeah, but you wait.
Is it
degrees. Or no, wait, never mind. No, oh, because it's
168? 168?
168. 168?
168. Yes.
163.
I know I'm right. 168.
She's like, I know.
It's one. I don't know what is it, but I'm not looking at one side. So I'm gonna look at this side. This angle here. This angle is what? 90 degrees, right?
So 90 plus.
This angle is a complement of 43. So therefore it's 90 minus 43. So it's right here. So which is 47. And this one is 31. So this angle here, we're gonna call this angle x. The angle x is equal to 90 because this part is 90 plus this one extra is 31, and then plus this extra pieces here, but this piece is a complement of 90, so therefore is 47. So therefore is 168. So can I find the distance between two ships now? So the hardest part is the drawing, and you can figure out the drawing. Okay, so then therefore I can say, okay, well that's pretty easy. I just figure out the third side. The third side is c squared is equal to 42 squared plus 36 squared minus 2 times 42 times 36 times cosine of 168. And then you're done. And then just make sure square root of that, and that's your answer. So that's a bearing question. So now we're gonna ask you a new question. Yes.
Wait, can I take a picture?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just gonna watch the video later if any,
Yeah. Just watch your video.
because I want to pay attention right now, and I'll watch the video and write it later.
Okay. So I'm gonna name a new questions. Okay. Now, how do I find the angle in between here? It really depends on your deductive reasoning. It's not always the same thing. Okay. So I'm gonna change this problem. Can you erase it now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna change this problem. I'm gonna pick this one, north 36 degrees,
57.
west, and then we're gonna say south 31 degree west,
57.
and this one is traveling at
18. 17. 18.
15, and this one is
You're rude.
13.
You don't like my numbers.
Yes.
He
And,
never picks
leaving
my
at,
numbers. 10 a.m. 4 p.m.
10 a.m. is fine.
Thank God. You picked my numbers.
So that way you have enough finger to count.
What do we?
Rachel, it's okay. That's
We're gonna change it.
Whatever.
Can I change no?
Huh?
That's what happens.
No? To 2 p.m.
No.
Now you cannot count.
Oh my god.
11, 12.
That's 4 hours.
1.
1.
That's 4 hours.
Okay. What does that hour do to the mind?
Everyone has to.
Yo, I'm good at time. I don't know about you guys.
Everyone has to.
So how far apart between 2 shifts?
Sophia's not great at time. Sophia. Because you're always late.
I'm great.
You sure? You sure? I don't think so. I'm just kidding.
Now the hardest part is finding the angle in between. That's a bearing between. So that's the hardest part. That's getting bullied by your group.
It
Getting
happens.
bullied by your group.
I wouldn't call it bullying.
I would call
They
it
keep
teasing.
calling me stupid, but it's okay. I know I'm stupid.
Whoa. Such confidence.
That's what I like to say.
I was gonna sing you and then I was like, wait, better be That says an hour story. Because that sounds that looks like.
It's 10 a.m. Is that 10 p.m.? It says 10 a.m.
Even if it was 10 p.m., it would still be the same thing.
Oh,
That's why you have other.
I do not.
That's why you have Jeremy.
You'll never ever give me that.
Wait.
I'm just kidding. I used to love that so bad. And now it's
You're leave her alone, bro. I'll join you.
Wait.
Yo, but this was like on my leg. I got this something for like on my back. And then I laid down on my leg and I felt it really weird. Like it felt so weird. I'm like, oh my god, it goes. Like my first thought was like,
No, you didn't.
It's like that.
That's not how you draw the triangle.
That's how you draw it.
Okay.
go away.
Let's hear what she's gonna do for us.
Do you guys got this?
I don't know how to do it.
Go to the bathroom.
Bro,
I was going for 10 minutes and I don't know how to do bearing anymore.
then you shouldn't have left when he was doing
You
Barry.
don't go from here down. You start from the origin again and you go southwest 31.
Can I get a cookie now? Come on, bro.
Yeah, this question, right?
Give it like a week.
I'm not gonna get that right. I can't do bearing for my life. If you would have said that about the last,
Sir, I would like to retire.
I felt that.
I would have been right. I would have been right.
Yeah, purposely.
Then you can purposely get 0 3 steps.
Good. I'm gonna get at least 5 questions wrong, alright? You have
I
to
would
get
have
you have to
been
do
right.
better.
Halfway. Shut up.
I'm gonna take one for the team.
Wait.
I'm making them laugh. You better.
Yeah, I think you got 48.
No, because I got it wrong. I thought it was ship A. Hey, I would have been right. If
What is that for size?
It doesn't have four
Where'd you
sides.
draw?
It has 3
So
sides.
then I got everything right.
She went like chess.
She went up, down, and to the
Because
board.
I thought it was ship A. Okay.
It has to be that.
You should show
Yo, Bryce, can you sit down?
Can you sit
stress?
Mister, you have a notification from 3 days ago.
It's about the software update.
Okay, what's your final answer?
Where'd my pen go?
I
What is it? What?
950.9. No, that's not right.
Did you draw it?
No. I don't have any.
North 36 degree west, right?
Oh, there it
So
is.
this is 36 degrees, and the south 31 degrees. So
When I ate that donut.
this part, just this angle in between, so it's complement of both angles. So therefore, this angle is what?
113.
It's 113. Okay, so I here is gonna be 15 times 4, so it's 60. And I here is 13 times 4, is a 42, I think. 52. Okay, nah. Okay, so the distance is equal to 60 squared plus 52 squared minus 2 times 60 times 52 times cosine of 113.
Wait, what?
And then that's your final answer.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
I did the calculator right. It's not hard. He's just making it look stupid. It's not hard.
I am stupid though.
No, he's making it look stupid.
Oh, I
He makes me feel stupid.
You see the equation that we did before the cosine for the c?
I felt that.
You're looking for c squared, so you just plug in all the equations.
You're looking for this.
So it's the same equation as the other one?
Yes.
Yeah, but just involved with bearing.
He's just doing it like by default.
Okay, that's easy then.
Alright, so let's review the other bearing question. The other bearing is turning 90 degree. This is simple. It's only one ship this time.
Okay.
Okay. There's only one ship this time. So this is from 2 days ago, right? When we talked about one ship.
2 days ago.
A few days ago.
That
Ship
was like
A.
last
That was
week.
Ship
like,
one.
That was like Monday of last week.
North 24 degree
27.
west. Okay, no 24 degree west, guys. Going from 32 miles. 32 miles, and then turn 90 degree clockwise.
Clockwise?
Yeah, clockwise. And then going for another 20 miles. But I'm gonna give you a direction here, 20 miles.
Okay.
But the problem is, can you figure out this one without me giving it to you?
I can try.
Wait, what are we trying to find?
For
Okay,
saying
so-
that, can I get a cookie?
A, fine. So it's leaving the port, right? So it's leaving the port, so this part is leaving the port. So find the distance between port
And the new
and the ship. Okay, that's part one. Part B, it says find the bearing
So this is 24.
between port.
What's this the other way? What's this the other way? I'm trying to be a history teacher.
find the what?
Okay, so
Find the
bearing.
oh bearing.
Find the
So-
bearing between the port and the ship, and find the distance between port and ship.
It goes
Okay, so I have a
clockwise
question.
70 miles?
Yes.
When you say fill it in, what do you mean? Like what kind of?
Okay, it should be like something like south 20 degree west or something
Yeah.
like some 20 degree east. But I'm gonna show you how to do it first. So this is from 2 days ago. This is also on your test. So your test is only not at 30 minutes. You have to be able to do all that. It's all calculated.
30 minutes?
Yeah, because show period.
Wait a
Whenever you guys have a show period next. So
Tomorrow.
is leaving what? North 24 degree west. So that's 24 degrees, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Turning clockwise. Clockwise is which way?
Right.
That way.
90 degree, right? And they say for how many miles? 20 miles. So 20 miles. Are we okay here? This one is 32. And this is 90 degrees. So this one is going to be like something like this. This is 32. This is 20. Are we okay here?
Can you use law of sine with 90 degree triangles?
You don't need to use law of sine. To find the distance, just use Pythagorean identity. Because a squared plus b squared equal to c squared, right?
But can we use
Well,
law of sine?
I was trying
You can use law of cosine, but it'll be a waste of time.
You can't use law of sine?
You can't use the law of sine to find this distance, no. There's take 2 steps.
But you can still do
No.
it.
Yeah, but
That's
take
what I
2
just
steps.
said.
No, I was trying to do it because I was trying to find the other side without you giving it to us.
Now, this one is here going to be c squared, so I can find out that. If you use the law of cosine, it's better. Because law of cosine of 90 degrees is going to give me 0. And just Pythagorean identity.
On the test, are we going to have to find 32?
So c equal to square root of 32 squared plus
I don't know what
20.
you're talking about.
Wait, so mister, are you going to give me
Covers. So what's the answer for this one?
52?
Are you sure?
It was 37.74.
Why?
So this is 37.74, right?
I was thinking 52.
So I have a question.
Wait, what the?
Yes.
On the test, that 32, are you going to give that to us, or are we going to,
And he
or do we have to
said
find it?
We're gonna give it to you.
So I don't have to use the law of sine. I can just do
I
the.
already said 90 degrees. Turn 90
Yeah,
degrees.
but without, if you didn't give us the 32.
Guys, can you stop being rude? Bo? Seriously? I'm trying to go over a question. Because it's gonna be on a test. I don't wanna laugh at your test score because it's gonna seem like that.
that's what you're gonna do.
Well, yeah, if you guys don't focus. So what is your question?
If you didn't give us the 32, then we could use law of sine to find it, and then use that to find the.
No, the problem you don't have this side.
Yeah,
You're
but,
using law of sine.
but you have the but you had the 24 or the 24 degrees.
You have a 24, you have a 20, but I have to give you some sides.
Yeah, you did give us a side. You gave us 32.
You say if I don't give you 32.
Oh, if you don't give us 20, never mind. If you don't give us, are you gonna give us 20 on the test or not?
Well, of course, I have to
But
tell
if
you
you
the ship.
did-
How far is the ship going? You cannot find a triangle without knowing how far the ship's going.
That's a good point.
Wait, so
You need a 3 pieces of information. 2 of the pieces has to be corresponding to each other.
okay,
And the 3rd piece is the one that provides the unknown.
okay.
So therefore, you can use this. So now you can say, okay, well, this is probably not a good
What did you
question,
say?
but this one is how many degrees?
Bearing. I don't know why you. It
24?
says BEA.
Why?
Like that's not bearing. That
That's a
that
yeah.
doesn't even look like bearing.
That's the make it better.
It still doesn't look
Where's the
like
IN?
That's like B.
That's a B-A.
Even better.
B-A-R-Y. That's buried. Buried. That's buried.
Okay, so here is the triangle, right? So once I can figure out this angle is what? How do I figure out the angle? Or it's on the last video, so.
Students, tomorrow morning, we will be on a block schedule. You'll be reporting directly to your 4th period.
Hey,
Tomorrow, you'll be going directly to your 4th